The Golden Cup and the Greedy Merchant. Long ago, in a distant kingdom, there lived two merchants who sold shining glass beads. These beads sparkled like precious gems, but they were worth only a few coins. The two men had an agreement. They never competed against each other. One would sell first, and only after he had finished, the other would take his turn. One day, they crossed a wide river to reach Aritthapura, a once glorious city that had now fallen into poverty. There, among the crumbling houses and quiet streets, lived a poor grandmother and her young granddaughter. As the first glass bead seller passed by their home, the little girl's eyes lit up. The colourful beads shimmered in the sunlight, and she longed to have them. She clutched her grandmother's hand and begged, "Grandmother, please, I want those beautiful beads." The old woman sighed, for she had no money to buy even a single bead. But she had one thing, a small old cup that had been in her family for years. She called the merchant and said, "Kind sir, I have no money to buy your beads, but I have this old cup. Will you take it and give my granddaughter a few beads in return?" The merchant took the cup, turning it over in his hands. It was dull and dirty, covered in years of dust. But when he rubbed it, his heart skipped a beat. It was solid gold. For a moment, greed flashed in his eyes. This cup was worth a fortune. He could take it for nothing and sell it for thousands. But if he revealed its true worth, the grandmother might not give it up so easily. So he scoffed and sneered, "This old, broken cup. It's worthless. It has no value at all." Then, to complete his deception, he threw the cup onto the ground and walked away without another word. The grandmother picked up the cup, sighing at her misfortune. But fate was not finished with her yet. Shortly after, the second merchant arrived, carrying his beads. The little girl, still hoping, ran to him and begged for some beads. Once again, the grandmother offered her old cup in exchange. This merchant, too, examined the cup and rubbed it. When he saw the truth, that it was pure gold, his eyes widened, but not with greed. Instead, his heart swelled with honesty. "Grandmother," he said in a serious tone, "this cup is no ordinary cup. It is solid gold and worth at least 100,000 coins. I do not have that much money with me, but I cannot take such a treasure for nothing." The grandmother and granddaughter looked at each other, then smiled. "We only want a few beads," they said. "That is enough for us." But the merchant shook his head. "No, I cannot deceive you. You deserve a fair price." And so he gave them all the money he had, 500 silver coins, as well as many glass beads as he could spare. He kept only 8 coins for his boat fare, then hurried to the riverbank to cross back before nightfall. Meanwhile, the first merchant, still greedy, returned to claim the cup. "Grandmother," he said with a cunning smile, "I have changed my mind. Give me that old cup, and I will give you a few beads." But the old woman's face hardened. "You wicked merchant," she snapped. "You lied to us. We have already given the cup to another seller, an honest one." The first merchant's face turned pale. His breath caught in his throat. No, it can't be." His greedy hands trembled as he realized what he had done. Because of his own arrogance, he had thrown away a golden fortune. Desperation gripped him. Without another word, he threw down his entire bag of beads, scattering them in the dirt, and ran like a madman toward the river. His heart pounded with panic. "I must catch him. I must get my treasure back." But when he reached the riverbank, his worst nightmare came true. The second merchant's boat was already in the middle of the river, sailing smoothly toward the distant shore. The first merchant stood frozen, watching helplessly as the golden cup, his lost fortune, drifted farther and farther away. His vision blurred, his chest tightened. The sheer weight of his loss, his greed, his foolishness, it was too much to bear. With a loud cry of agony, he collapsed onto the ground. His heart, crushed under the weight of his despair, gave out. And so, the first merchant, blinded by greed, died on the riverbank, while the second merchant, guided by honesty, sailed away with a clear conscience and a heart full of peace.